Hello. We had a bit of some technical difficulties, but we're gonna get right to it. We're gonna give it a few minutes for everybody to come on over to the correct virtual room, and then we'll get started. If you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat for me so that I know that you can hear me. Yes. Hello. We're going to give it a few minutes for people to come over to the right one. Had some technical difficulties. If you can hear me, please put a 1 in the chat. Also, if you can hear me, say where you're from. All right, we got a 1 from George. Hi, George. All right, I see some ones coming in. Oh, that is wonderful. So, gonna still give it a few more minutes for people to trickle on over here. Please tell me where you're from. I would love to hear it. My name is Talisha White. I am the community lead here at Lovable, and I am in Atlanta, Georgia, USA. So please, I want to know, where are you from? Ukraine, Niagara Falls, I've never been. Chicago, Chi-Town, represent. Okay, Switzerland, Chile, California, India. Awesome. We got people from all over London. I have cousins out there, but I've never been. I want to go so bad. Los Angeles. Nice. Got people from all over. Indianapolis. Steve. Berkeley. I said that wrong. Switzerland, Minnesota, Berkeley, Paris. Nice. We have some team members in Paris. Amsterdam. Wonderful. I'm loving this. So today we're going to introduce you to how to make the most out of Lovable. This is for any level of experience. For you don't have to be a developer. You don't need to feel intimidated, and we're going to build something cool today. We're going to have a lot of fun. I am not just going to talk at you. Please utilize the chat. I want to hear from you. I want to get your questions. I want to answer, and we're going to build something together. So today we're going to be going through everything that is Lovable, and we're going to build a landing page together. But I need your help. What should the landing page be about? Let's make it fun. Don't be boring. Let's not do a boring SaaS landing page. Let's do something fun. So put your suggestions in the chat, and I'm going to just go over quickly some getting started things. So, of course, this is the Lovable home page right here. If you come over here, you can go to your settings. Okay, this is important. This is where you do your plans and billings. This is where you have your account settings. Okay, if you are on a paid plan, you can actually make all of your projects private, right? So you can make sure that no one can see your projects if you don't want to. I know privacy is important for a lot of people. Also, in the labs, we have the chat feature that you can go ahead and you can toggle that on. And the chat feature allows you to chat with the AI agent without having any code changes. So sometimes you just want to understand, what's happening in your program and what you're building. And you don't need it to actually make any changes. You just want to know. That's where chat modes come in. Also, GitHub branch switching, that is something a little more advanced, but I did want to just let you know, let you aware that if you would like to have different branches, and if I am speaking a foreign language to you, then don't worry about it. But if you are more technical and that is something you want to implement, you can do it there. Great. So I'm seeing some great things come into the chat there. I see AI servers for playing bowling. Oh, that's fun. Create a forum page, AI platform for psychologists. Okay, so let's get started. And here in your prompt input box, you can also change the settings here if you want. You can import from Figma if you have Figma files, and here's where you attach images. if you want to add those into your project, or maybe you have an example of a design you want to copy, you can also attach that here. So let's make our landing page and let's go ahead and make the AI platform for psychologists. So I just type a nice simple prompt. This is for learning, getting started. If you want to plan something more robust, you want to build the next unicorn, you're going to want to sit down and plan before you start prompting to make sure you have a clear vision of what you want to do. But for learning purposes, we can keep it nice, short, and clean. I want to build a landing page for an AI platform targeting psychologists. Awesome. And then you're just going to click this arrow here. And now the magic happens. And here, over here, you can see we're spinning up a preview. When you see the little dot, that means the AI is working. And if you click on this, it's already clicked the first time, you can see the code that it generates. But the great thing is, again, you don't need to know how to code. So while we're here, I'm going to show you a couple of more things. Right here in Ask Lovable, obviously, this is where you put in your inputs, put in your chats. This button right here, this plus button, this is a shortcuts menu where we have GitHub, history, knowledge, settings, Superbase, attach and edit. And I will be going through each and every one of these and what they mean. So don't worry about that. I will definitely go through them for you. Down here, you also have your attach, your edit, and then this button only shows up if you did what I said in the beginning and enabled chat mode. And here's where you can toggle between those. Up here, this is the name of your project. And here is where you can go to your dashboard. You can see your credits. You can see the visibility. So as you can see, I have a public project right here. And again, like I said previously, you can toggle that to private if you don't want anyone else to see your project and you don't want anyone to remix it. Remixing a project is basically someone can copy your project and use it as a template. And I will show you how to do that later. Here you have your project settings, account settings, and help. So right now, we're going to wait for the AI to finish doing its work. And while you're doing that, please hit me with your questions so far. Like I said, I want this to be interactive. So please hit me with your questions. We've kind of went over basic buttons here. This button here is for your history. We don't have any history right now, so I will show it to you later. But every time the AI makes an edit here, you're going to be able to go back here and view all of those different edits. This collapses the sidebar chat so you can see full screen your preview. Okay. This right here is your code viewer, and you can toggle that on and off to see the code that the AI has written. Right now, we're not going to click it because the AI is still writing. So someone just asked, how do I tie in data? That is a great question. And that's going to be with this button right here. It's called Superbase. Superbase is your data management platform. It is your database. We will go into more of that a little later. So not right now. We're just getting started, but we'll definitely get into that. Disregard this button. This GitHub button. So GitHub is a place where you can store your code outside of Lovable. So the way I always like to describe this is think of Lovable as a library. When you go to a library and read a book, the book stays within the library. So same with Lovable. When you come to Lovable and you work on your project, the project stays within Lovable. But if you go to GitHub, that's like checking out the book and taking it home. So then if you move your code to GitHub, You have access to your code whenever, wherever. You own it. It is now your book. And if you are a developer, you can go and edit your code and do all the fancy things you like. And then last is the publish button up here, which we will get to in the end. So now as you can see, the AI has finished and we can see our nice little landing page. Oh my goodness. From a very simple prompt. As I said, when you're just learning, there's no need to be precise, to be technical. Kind of just explain what you want to build in a very natural way, as if you were talking to a friend, and you can get pretty far. Let's see if it made other pages. So this time it didn't make other pages, which is fine. It made some links so that it scrolls to that part of the page. And as you see here and what's next, we have some very helpful little information for you. You can go visit our documentation, which is great. You can explore Supabase, and you can also manage your knowledge. And that's actually what we're going to do right now. So in your managed knowledge, you can add custom contacts and instructions for your project. So you can tell it to only speak in Portuguese if you're Portuguese, right? Every time you respond, I need you to speak in Portuguese. You can be more technical here. Uh, so if you really like that all code has comments so that it's easy to follow, you would put it in here and say every time you write code, make sure you write comments on them, etc. Or if you have some additional information about the project that you're building, you can put it here. One thing I like to do, because I'm a little silly, okay, is I say every time you respond, every time you respond to me, respond with the chicken emoji. Why? I don't know, I'm silly. But you can put real context in there, like always respond like a pirate. So this is really great for, as I said, defining roles, defining goals. Does a single prompt cost 1 credit if it's a long or short prompt? Does it cost the same amount of credits? Yes. So every message you send here costs a credit. So for example, I can say, let's add some animations to the hero section. Make it very cool. Okay. And then I can click go. And that is one edit. That's one prompt, one message, one credit. Okay, you guys? And see, it has a little duck and it says ahoy, matey. Cute, right? So this is just a visual representation so you can see how knowledge works visually. So let's continue on here. I see another question. Is there a way to make direct edits in the generated source code? It always tells me the code is read only. So the answer to that is yes and no. If you are on certain plans, you can enable that dev mode here where as you can see, I am not on that plan. I have just the free account for demo purposes. But if you are on a certain plan, you can come in here actually and you can edit this code yourself. And then also, I'm going to show you something really cool that we call edit mode. So that's going to be this button right here. You're going to click on it, and then you're going to be able to click on like this H1. And as you can see, I can change the size here. I can change the font weight here. Maybe I want it extra bold, and maybe I actually want the font to just be little. I don't know why you would do that. It doesn't look great. Let's make it huge for no reason at all. You can change the colors. I like purple. You can change the alignment. It's this is already centered, so it's not going to do anything. And also, you can change the text. As you can see here, I can go in and I can say, this is the best class ever. Yay! Also, there's this advanced mode. Like I said, if you're technical, you can directly edit the code here and you can add other classes to your designs right here. So that is the edit mode, right? Also, make sure you click save and you see it made the edit, but maybe I have a question and I want this div to do something. And as you can see, it says ask Lovable to modify the div. I can say, I want this full screen. And then as you can see, as when I sent it, it has the div in there. And the best part about this is that it does not use a credit. So that is how you can make direct edits to the code if you don't have the dev mode, but you can make little edits here and there. And you can select individual things. And while you're using edit mode, it does not cause a message or a credit. Is there a way to make, do those edits use a design system? Yes, they use Tailwind. I have a design system from Figma that I want to use in my project. Is that possible? That might be a little more difficult, but you can for sure tell Lovable to enable your design system within your project because we do use, like I said, Tailwind classes, which is sort of like a coding design language, is what I would explain it as. But also, if you're ever unsure, that's where that chat mode comes in. And I can say, do the edits in Lovable use a design system? And I think that's it's the best way. If you're unsure when you're doing something or you don't understand, you can just throw it in the chat mode. And then it'll check. It will check your code for you right then and there. And look, as you can see, boom, it says, yes, we have these dependencies. It uses these classes, etc., etc. So if you ever get confused or lost, I think the chat mode is definitely the best way to go. So let's continue going in. Right here, you can click view history. And this is where I was telling you before. I can go back, right? So maybe I don't like this purple. I'm like, oh gosh, it's looking crazy. Boom. I can go back to this visual edit and I can see, oh, actually, I really like this. Oh, you can go back and you can see how it looked previously, you know, and I can restore it to this version by clicking this button, restore this version. Or if I'm like, actually, I like how it is, you can click exit. All right, so now we're going to go and I'm going to explain to you your project settings. So again, that's in the top left corner. You click the drop down, you click project settings. And here we have the settings to configure my project. We have my project name, when it was created. You can see the messages and the edits. You can change my visibility. Also, you can control the edit with Lovable badge. And that's for remixing the projects, which I talked about earlier. You can also rename this project. So maybe I want to call it Talisha is Cool because why not? And you can save that. Just click on that again. As you can see, success. We can also remix this project. So at the end, I will put the link in the chat for you, and then you'll be able to remix and work on this and play with this project yourself. Okay, let's see. Can I add a viewer to my private project? So I'm not sure I understand the question. Yes, if you once you publish or even this preview URL here. So you can click on this open preview in a new tab. And as you can see, I'm sharing my new tab with the full page of the project that I built. So you can always share this link It's just not indexable. But just like if you're using like Google Drive and they say share this private link, it's the same, situation there. So you can share it with your friends, or maybe you have some early users that you want to give feedback and just like, oh, do you like this design, etc. You can again push the button right here on the right hand side, open preview a new tab. You can copy that URL and you can share it without publishing your project to the internet. Okay, so we're going to go back into project settings actually, and we're going to discuss some of the other things that are in your project settings over here. So here we have domains. So when you're ready to publish your project, you can add your own domain. So I can add talisha.com if I wanted, or whatever.com.ai. So you don't have to use this subdomain that Lovable gives you. Here, you can also connect to your GitHub, like I explained earlier. It's like checking out your book from the library. Here, you can also access your knowledge, like we did earlier. You can edit it and make sure you click save. And here in Supabase, it's loading. But you can add Supabase for your database. So as you can see, I've already connected my Supabase account. And then I can go into my different organizations, or maybe you only have one organization, but then I can go in and I can connect here. Okay, these projects are not done, but I can easily connect here. So Supabase has been experiencing some problems today. You can check the status at status.supabase.com. But when you go in, you just click the connect button. You click connect, and boom, you see my green light. Don't ask why I named my account girl. Um, but you can connect, and then you can quickly go to your different things within Supabase. Now, when we go back to the project, you can see it says, please connect my Supabase project. It shows what it found. And now my app is now connected to Supabase. So now you can have that data we talked about earlier. So you can get real data and you can do real login. So now I can say, please create for me a login and sign up page with Supabase using email and password. So now it's going to create that page for me. All right, so we're about halfway through time. If you have any questions, or if you want me to try something, please let me know in the chat. Okay, I see another question. Is there a recommended way to get the AI to stop attempting repeatedly failed fixes to a problem? I've gotten stuck in loops multiple times, unfortunately. You know what? There is. So I'm going to answer that question. I think I skipped over one of the errors. I did. So as you can see here, I had an error that said build unsuccessful, but I completely ignored it. Probably don't do that. But you can click on your error and you can see it. And you can click the try to fix button right here, or this little wrench right here, because sometimes maybe there's more than one error. Try to fix will fix every error that's here. So we're going to go ahead and click try to fix. By the way, that's free. It does not cost you anything to click this try to fix button, because if the AI makes mistakes, you should not be charged for it. However, if you get into a loop, maybe you click the try to fix button 6 times and there's still an error. Number one, that's where your chat mode comes in at, right? And you can ask it, okay, this is my favorite way to debug. First, explain the problem, just as you are speaking to a developer, or you can think you're speaking to a developer trying to build your house, and the door just won't swing open correctly. You wouldn't yell at your developer and say, fix this door, it doesn't work. You would say, when I try to open this door, it makes this weird squeaking noise, and it just isn't quite right. So whatever language you have to describe the issue, that's what you're going to do first. You're going to say, okay, I want XYZ. This isn't happening. Then you're going to explain how you want the error to be fixed. Okay. So you want your door not this week. Or maybe when I scroll, I don't want these animations. So I'd say when I'm scrolling, I get these animations that are causing discomfort and I don't like them. What I would like to happen is when I scroll, I would like no animations whatsoever. And you want to do that in chat mode. And that way, when you, after you click send, it will think through it step by step. Okay, this is how the code is acting currently, and this is how I want it to act. And that's the difference in how to get there. So that's one way to get out of your error loop. Another way to get out of your error loop is to check out our blog, our documentation about how to get unstuck, because there's a lot of different methods you can try. Of course, mine explaining way is my favorite, but there's other ways you can try to get unstuck. And if you are still stuck, you can just go ahead and contact support, because sometimes it's not you, it's me. So sometimes you do need that extra support from the team, but do make sure that when you're contacting support, it is for things that the platform is not doing correctly. Um, but if you need support with your project specifically, for instance, if I wanted my Mind AI logo to have fireworks every time someone clicked the button, that is not a support team question. That is a Discord question. Our Discord community is vibrant. There's over 15,000 members who would love to help you make your icons sparkle. There's also a voice chat where you can come, you can share your screen, and we can walk through it together. I'm also often in there, so I am happy to help you if you get stuck and you just don't understand, or you want to explain me to explain more. Myself or others in the community are happy to help. So let's get back. See other questions. Okay. Keep questions coming if you have them, and I will continue on. So as you can see, I got another build unsuccessful error. Um, Looks like the same error actually. So I'll click that again to try to fix it. I'll click that again to try to fix it. And as I said before, you can click on this and you can see it writing code and what it's thinking, which is always really cool. You can see it full screen with this button. Try to see it with this button, and it's going to fix my error for me. Do, 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 do. Or fix the TypeScript errors. Cute. Okay, wonderful. Also, you may see this button right here, Refactor Hero Component. So what refactor means is to just make your project file smaller, more bite-sized, and make it easier for the AI to understand. So you can click this button and it'll just rewrite the code for you. If you're a little cautious, you can just ask it, what do you plan to do if I refactor? So let's try to add an animation. So if you don't know of any frameworks to use for animations, we do have an integration page that tells you, you know, things that you can interact with. I've seen P5JS used a lot. And so we're going to try to add some sparkle animations here. And as you can see, it's all just prompting. It's all just prompting. So if you're unsure, you can always ask and say, hey, I want to add animations. What should I use? You can describe the kind of animations you want to use. Always think of this as your friendly AI assistant. So the most useful way to prompt, in my experience of working and helping people, is to just be detailed. Okay, look, as you can see, I got some little sparkle stars back there, which is cool. Oh, and they kind of flicker. Nice. So adding animations is literally as simple as that. I see another question. Can we copy project to create different versions of it? Yes. So that's that remix that I told you about earlier. So let's get into that. So to remix the project, you can come here, click on this left again, or the plus down here. Okay. We're going to click on this left. We're going to go to project settings. We're going to go to settings. We're going to scroll down and we're going to click this button, remix this project. And as you can see, you are creating a copy that you want. So I can remix my own projects. And like Leah said, I can make different versions of it. Or I can remix my friends' projects and make different versions of that. So you just click that button, and as you can see, remixing the project. So it'll take a little moment here. This is where I usually scroll on Twitter. And then as you can see, Talisha is cool 02. So now we're on version 2 of that project, right? And I just completely remixed the project, everything that I've done, and now I can make different changes, different edits. I also want to go and point out that you can bookmark your favorite histories that you can then go and see when you click the history. So like maybe I really like this version and I want to remember it. So I bookmark it, and then if in the future I go down some weird rabbit hole where now everything is like disco and purple and black and you don't really like it, then you can remember that you saved the nice version, and of course you click and restore. I want to show that off. You can also preview your different edits by clicking this preview button, and it'll open that preview. Awesome possum. So let's continue on. Oh, no problem. I'm happy that you appreciated this. Let us know what you think about it, everybody. We'll be sending a feedback form after it so we can make these more helpful and beneficial to you, the user. MISE box. I super appreciate it. So let's continue on. Some other things I want to show you is here on this. This is where you can view different pages. So let's create a different page. Oh, I got sidetracked. We didn't create that login page. A login sign up page with Supabase using email and password. So I'm just going to take a sip of water here. I'm very thirsty. Okay. So we're going to create a login and sign up page. And once that page gets finished creating, we're going to be able to click here where it says index. Index also just means homepage, but it's your main page that you're going to be on when you go to your website. That's your index page. And so once this gets finished writing the code, again, I don't know what you all do when the AI is like doing your work for you, but I definitely just usually just go scroll on Twitter. We need to find better ways. Please give me better suggestions of things to do while the AI is writing code. Okie dokie. So also while we're waiting, I can show you this button here. This is the switch to the mobile preview mode, so you can see what it will look like on a phone. So Lovable does not support native mobile apps. Before you ask, no. But this is great for seeing if your web app is responsive, to make sure everything looks great in the mobile version, because most people do work on a second project. Okay, maybe not work on a second project, but I love the hustle. Okay, so now we've created a login sign up page. I can click here, and as you can see, now I have multiple pages that I can select from. Now, I do want you to be mindful, okay, this is important. that if you add user authentication to your app and you have multiple pages and it's password protected, as you can see, I clicked on dashboard and it took me back to off, okay? Or you may see ones that where you're trying to get specific data. So maybe you have a store, and on one of the pages of the store is product information, product details for a specific product. And so you'll see slash product slash, the product's name. Maybe it's cute sneaks, right? If you go here and try to click on it, you're likely not going to see anything because you must have the data connected for one, and it is likely that you might have to be logged in. So just be mindful to think of the things you gave it beforehand before you're clicking on these pages and you click on dashboard and you're like, oh no, it doesn't work. Remember you said only logged in users can see your dashboard. So it's automatically going to take you there. So we can log in or sign up. So let's sign up because we're not going to have y'all stealing my email. Oh, it's fine though. So you can sign up with your email. You can create your account, and now you should be able to log in. Oops. Okay. And then we log in. And as you can see, login successful. And that is how easy it is to create, sign up, and login authentication with Lovable and Supabase. You don't need to get complicated. You don't have to ask for a lot of things. Just tell it to use Supabase or whatever your authentication provider is. You can also use Clerky or Magic.link. The possibilities are endless. And then I can click here and I can go to my dashboard. And as you can see, it already pulled that data for me, right? And again, like I said, now that my user is authenticated, I can now click dashboard and it will take me to that actual page. Something important to note here about user authentication. If you are using third-party authentication providers, your Google, your Facebook, you want to log in with Twitter, it will not work in preview mode. You are going to have to pop that out using this button here. The reason is because this is a sandbox environment. So thinking of it as a testing environment. And so things like Google need special security that we don't have to get in here, but just know that if you're in here and you're trying to sign in with Google and Google's like, no, it does not mean that your app is broken. They're just like, what are you doing? Where are you at? Click this button. It usually solves that problem. Okay, I see some more questions. Hi from Greece. I want to know, can I make pages in my project that import video or notes and stay so I can see them? Yes. So that is with that Supabase. With that data, you can definitely make a different page, like on this dashboard page, and I can have a button that says upload a video, and then I upload my video, and then it will definitely show, anytime I log in, right? Or notes, just really whatever data. You're just going to have some type of database. So you're going to have somewhere that your data can live when the website you're not looking at it, right? So you want to store that data somewhere, and you can do that with Supabase, or maybe you're more technical and you want to use another database, but Supabase is easy. The button's right there. All right. Good point about authentication. So is it easier to add auth last versus at the start to avoid issues going back and forth between pages without worrying about auth or getting kicked out without it? So this is what I like to call a builder preference. There isn't a best practice. There are some developers, builders who like to add authentication at the start, especially where they're doing different user roles. So maybe I have an admin, maybe I have a user, maybe I have staff, and I want to go in and I want to be able to log in to see the different pages. Now, if you're just doing a small app, you can just do authentication at the end, right? Do all of your UI first, make sure you like the way it looks, then add your authentication. Also, something I do is after I set up the authentication, if I know I'm going to be continuously going on a different page and I don't want to get kicked out, I add a button that says skip off for testing purposes. So definitely that's a personal preference. I definitely lean more towards doing it at the beginning because I usually like to work with different roles. Okay, I see another question. I really love Lovable. Thank you. We're so happy to hear it. What about hosting matter? So I create a project, then buy a custom domain and publish it through Lovable, right? Correct. What about transferring the project on a different server? Okay, so let's go through two parts of that. First, we can publish. So I can publish, I just click that button and boom. Okay, not boom, gotta wait. Internet's a little slow. And then boom, after it publishes, this app will be completely accessible to anybody who has the link. It's a published app. There we go. So my app is now live. I have now published my first project. Whoa. Easy as that. And then, of course, you can click Manage Domains here, and it will take you back to this where I can add my own domain. Of course, you have to be on a paid plan. Or I can purchase a domain for those it's enabled for. So we're going to go back here. And then the second question is, what about transferring the project on a different server? So yes, if you feel confident putting your project on another server, that's where this GitHub. You just click this button, connect to GitHub, select your account, and then load, boom. Now I have a GitHub link. And I can go directly to GitHub and view this information. And as you can see, I'm on GitHub. And then you own your code. You can do whatever you want with it. Okay, whatever you want to do with your code. You want to host it on a different server. As you can see, I own it. I can do whatever I want with it. So back over here to our project, we're almost out of time. We have about 15 minutes left. So I do want to answer any questions you have left. If there's anything you want me to show you, this is the time. Give it to me so I can show you anything. I think I've went over pretty much everything to get you started. We've went over how to use the try to fix button, what this little thing means when it pops up. There's also another button that could pop up. It will say implement this plan. Let me see if I can find and show. Okay, this button right here, implement this plan. So this happens when you're kind of chatting with the AI. You're like, okay, this is what I want to do. And then it will tell you, okay, we can do this. And then you can click, if you like it, if you like what it's saying, you can click implement this plan. Okay. Also, if you want to add external things, let's say you want to add a chat bot to your website and you want to use Anthropic, you can say, let's add a chat bot to the website using Anthropic. And it will basically do most of the work for you. Again, writing the code. And it will kind of explain to you a little bit about what you need to do to get it to work and how to enter your secret keys. Never, ever, this is very important, never, ever post any secret key here where it says ask Lovable. Do not do that. That goes for any AI. Never give AI the keys to your house. And in that analogy, the keys to your house is your API keys, right? So, oh, okay. So now I have my little chat bot over here. We haven't added the AI. We could do that on the next step if we wanted to. But sometimes the AI gets confused and it says to do these things. Just remember, do not give the AI your API keys. Don't do it. Also, very, very important, you guys. If you take the book out of the library, you click on GitHub, you check that book out. It's not in the library anymore. Don't burn the book. Okay? That means don't go into GitHub and delete the code and think Lovable will still have it. No, you burned the book. The book is gone. So make sure you use your book or your code in GitHub efficiently. Keep it safe, because if you delete anything from GitHub, it will be deleted in Lovable. Awesome. I see another question. Could I theoretically run my AI model without API on Lovable? Theoretically, probably not. Probably not. You probably need an API. I don't know a situation where you wouldn't need an API, but also if you figure that out, you should totally let us know, because that would be really cool. But you're probably going to need an API. What is an edge function? That is a great question. So, an edge function, you can think of it as a little mini computer that can process code and do things on your behalf within Supabase. So, let's say you want to add that Anthropic Claude API for this right here, for this chat box. You want to call that API, and you don't want those, like I said, don't give Lovable your API keys. You can tell it to create an edge function that will call that for you separately. Or maybe you have just a regular function, which is just a process. You can think of it as a workflow. When this, then that. If you have something like that, some business logic, maybe when someone does, when somebody clicks start your free trial, you want to send an email. And then after it sends the email, you want it to have a pop-up that says, thanks for joining or something like that. You can do that in edge function. So I think that's the best way to think about it. Those are, again, with Supabase here. Right? In Supabase, you can go and you can connect and create edge functions, and Lovable will write them for you. Okay, we're coming down on time. We got 9 more minutes. Please let me know what your questions are. We've kind of went over everything, how to build things, etc. We've added some AI. I didn't go into detail because this is just to help you get started, to get you comfortable. The best way to learn is to try it out yourself. So I'll give you my link here. I'll post that into the chat for you. You can try it yourself. Let me disconnect my Supabase. No, I think I already disconnected it. You can try it. You can remix it again. In your settings, scroll down, remix this project so you can play with it yourself. You can change the colors, change the text, change literally anything you want. Literally anything you want. Awesome. If you enjoyed this session, can I get a 1 in the chat, please? If you feel like you've learned something, please hit me with the 1. If you think this session can be better, hit me with that 2. I cannot get better if you don't tell me. So hit me with that 2. So 1, you enjoyed the session, you feel like you learned something, would do again. A 2 in the chat if you think it could be better. We're going to be leaving that feedback for everybody so that you can tell me what that 2 is. But I super duper appreciate everyone. I'm seeing lots of ones. I'm really glad that you enjoyed it. I tried to make sure I broke it down for everybody so that it was simple for anyone to follow. I know a lot of people are just getting started with Lovable. So excited to have you here. We do have a few more minutes. We have a few more minutes left. I don't want to take up all of your day, but if you have any additional questions, please put them in the chat. I will stick around for the next 6 minutes, and I'm just gonna go over some more things while I'm sticking around. Back on your home page, you can see my projects. So you can see my original project and my remix project. You can also see other people's projects that they're working on. And the cool thing about it is, oh, this is actually kind of cool. You can click on it. Distracted there, y'all. You can click on it and you can actually work on their project. That's where you can remix again, right? Okay, this one must be, oh no, okay. You can remix other people's projects if they allow for it. We also have a few templates here that you can remix to get you started and play around. And then, of course, support, it's here. Make sure you're asking anything you want. You have questions, go ahead and ask the community, read the docs. And of course, if you're a paying user, get that premium support when you need it. And then also we have Lovable launched. So after you've used this class to make your first ever project, we want to see it. I want to see it. So make sure that you go ahead and, you share it on Lovable launched, share it on Twitter, tag us, share it on Discord, share it on LinkedIn. Just share it. We want to see what you build. We want to help you. We want to support you. So thank you so very, very much. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Again, I'm still here to answer questions. We still have 5 minutes left. So anything I miss, please ask the question now or forever hold your peace. Or come hang out with me on Discord and I'll answer your questions there as well. Let's see. I see another question. What kind of payment features can be integrated? That's a great question. Anything. Literally any payment feature you can think of, as long as it has some code, the AI can integrate it. So let's say you want to use Stripe, you want to use PayPal. It's really as simple as, I want to set up subscriptions using Stripe. Right? So I don't want it to edit any code right now, since this is just a demo. It's the whole thing to set up Stripe. It's easy, but it's a whole thing. But you can tell it, okay, I want to set up subscriptions using Stripe. It'll tell you what to do, how to do it. You go and you follow the directions. You can follow the directions, and that is great. And as you can see, it gives you a bunch of questions. All right, so we will be ending on time here. So we have about 3 minutes left. I really appreciate everybody. Again, please join me in the Discord. I'll be there hanging out. I love answering questions in the voice chat, because I don't always see them in the general chat. Like if you type out the questions, there's a lot of people in there. I told you it's like 15,000 people. So I don't always see them. But in the voice chat, you can catch me in there a lot of times. Hop in, ask me a question. I'm happy to answer. There's also other wonderful community champions who are also happy to answer. Okay, great. So we're going to be, yeah, I super appreciate everybody for joining. Thank you very much. Again, make sure you're in the Discord. You're using the support. Your paid user, use the support ticket if you're having platform issues. If you need help with your project, Discord is the place. The community is here for you. We want to see you succeed. Share your projects. And thank you all so much for joining. Ask your questions in the Discord. Happy to answer anything we didn't get to. But again, thank you, everybody.